Welcome back to some more Project Zomboid. Yes. The bucket was on the road. We left it behind when we were looking at the buildings up north, and with the idea of picking it up on the way back, and never picked it up. Okay, I stumbled upon it, or I remembered. Let's put it this way. What I didn't remember, and what is very tragic in some ways. Wait, we did pick up a couple of stuff here foraging around, and I was grabbing some eggs from the chickens. Very happy about them being so productive. And then I remembered that there was an issue with chicken hutches. If you're using them and they're near the player, they get dirty, and you need to clean them. And if you don't clean them, the chickens inside can perish. And that's why we have an episode, even though I wanted to do another off-camera day. Because we have a little bit of cleanup to do. And when I say a little bit of cleanup, is we might not get eggs for a couple more days. Because... yeah, they're not looking great, are they? The pens need to be empty. How are you feeling? Okay. We need pets. Pick up that. Okay. I need to carry them out one at a time. Okay, alright. Or I could just butcher them there in front of the others. We don't even have a knife on us. Alright, so yeah, the chickens, most of the chickens died. We need a broom and water to clean this. So I'm gonna need, I guess our bottles should do. And how do we get a broom? Oh, there's a twig broom. Okay, we can make from a sapling a twigs bundle and then a couple racks. Well, on the bright side, we're gonna have some chicken for dinner. Also, it's raining, and I'm wondering if I should just, since we have so many seeds that we constantly get from foraging, if I should just throw something in the ground and see if it survives, because we don't, of course, know the planting months, but hey, we can like plant half our seeds and it survives, yay. Okay, I'm gonna need my knife. I think a sharp flint flake should do. Knife. But yeah, given that we're kind of getting to know these chickens over time, I thought it was just the right thing to do to actually not just say do it off camera and say, yep, the chickens are dead, but rather show you what the problem was and how we're gonna fix it. If I can ever find my knife again. This is getting a little bit out of hand here with me not keeping order. Let me just make a new knife here. And bone now. Make a blade out of that flint I found, and then we make a crude knife. And then we can butcher the chicken. Alright, so let me just... no, let's do the twigs first here. Yeah, make a twigs bundle. Then there's sapling here left. No. I threw one yesterday. Okay. Just some racks here. So let's make a brew. Up our water here. Probably worth getting another bucket or something. Just as a water bucket next to the chicken place. And just let it fill via the rain. Right. Then we can hopefully need water and mob discharger. Bro, I have all of this. Maybe I just need to add water. Okay. Good as new, except for the chickens inside. Nobody wants to see this, especially not the other chickens. But I'm not gonna run around 15 times here. Alright. Well, with that little chapter behind us, I'm gonna cook up a bunch of food. That's like the food is sorted for the next couple days. I think we're gonna leave the broom here. Now we still have 2 chicks, 3 hens. Thankfully, none of the other animals are this picky about cleanliness. Alright, yeah, with that out of the way, I'm gonna continue what I was planning out to do, as in, you know, sort out the food, sort out our inventory stuffs, and read some books, and probably get completely rained in here. But hey, we can just sit in the car and get dry. Ah, what a game changer. Alright, we'll get some updates later. One quick update while I'm some time on these rainy days here. I was saying how much of a game changer the pickaxe was going to be. So there's these rocks that you usually can't interact with. Nothing pops up if you right click on them, but if you have a pickaxe or a sledgehammer or a club hammer, I think, suddenly you have this wonderful button, remove mineral deposits. And then you get, well, that's actually very low. Usually like 4 to 6, well, apparently 3 to 6 flints or flint nodules, and then there's also these things. That is limestone, which we don't really have a use for right now just yet. And the other thing we can do is, if we go to the large stones, get them out of there, and then have the wonderful recipe break large stone into small stones. We were looking at that the other day. Not sure where that baseball bat is coming from that you see there briefly, but yeah, this way you can very quickly, because these large stones you find basically everywhere. So not only can we very quickly now restock our supply on flints, but also we can get like regular stones for any masonry related building projects. So I guess the one thing I'm a little bit torn between is whether or not I wanna build some stuff here, or considering that I don't consider this this is not going to be a permanent base, because I think it's silly building a house right next to existing houses, right? So when do we leave? Do we leave now? Do we leave after, maybe after the next helicopter? Seems like reasonable, which could be actually any day, since we had a very early first helicopter. Well, I'll think about this while I'll pass the rainy day here. Well, that looks a little bit better now. So I built a bunch more shelves. I put all the stuff that was here strewn on the ground into the shelves. We also got rid of, well, I cleaned the to-be-used later clothing and put it away. I ripped up all the other clothing that was still here and put it away. Yeah, we got some shelves here next to the campfire with our fire starting gear and the twigs. We got even a little shelf with all our books. And as you can see, we read through Carpentry Level 1, fully through, and, well, I'm about to start with Electrical 1. Basically, the only things that are still a mess is whatever's left in the trunk, whatever's left on the ground here from our previous adventure, although I did get all the books into the shelf, and then this is our wild, everything we need for crafting stack here, I guess. Also, I did realize that we can run multiple different crops here on the drying. So we're drying some wheat and we're drying some flax that I found during foraging. So that's ticking along nicely. And yeah, I think it's a day later than where we used to be. Then let's grab our milk bucket. Check what the cows are doing. Weight's going down, even though I've been chomping down on chicken whenever I get the opportunity. I wonder if I should take her, grab a rope, and bring her over to the other pasture. This bull seems to be not so interested. This guy, however, has gotten busy, because now also the Angus cow is ready for milking. I was like, why is the milk tooltip not there? But that is just because I have the buckets. Back. First of all, give me a pet. Second of all, give me milk. This one, alright. Works for me. And we have a full bucket, alright. Well, I guess either way, even if I wanna eventually move to a new place, we might as well, you know, it's just 2 nails. Let's get a butter churn in here and get some butter. There's an argument to be made to just make that thing over where the cows are, and that's actually a really good argument. Let's see. Building. Oh, I need a hammer. One hammer works. I think we'll just do it, let's say over here. Let's not put it onto the pasture. Close enough to both right next to the outhouse. Wonderful. And then we should be able to make our own butter. And that's 3,200 calories for the slight cost of very unhappy. But hey, at least we're not starving. Now, of course, it would make more sense to put the butter into a recipe as part of some other food, but unfortunately, we don't have any bowls yet that we can use for recipes. So we can't really cook. We don't have any pans, any pots, any bowls. That's the wrong button. I put the bucket away again. Yes. Okay. So I think we had like 4 liters or something, 4.5 maybe in there. So we got a full bucket and then another 5 liters or so out of her today. What about you? Make a little bit more butter. So out of curiosity, yep, man, already turned around our weight loss problem again. Let me just have a quick sit here. I should really, when I'm taking these breaks, just read a book in the meantime, right? Okay. Can we get more out of here? Yes. That was barely anything. Now, I'm gonna do one little thing that slightly bends our rules of not going inside, but only very slightly. I'm gonna place the milking bucket there, just so that it's inside. It's not gonna get rained and filled with water, rained on, and they don't have to carry it all the way over there back to base each time we go on a little milking trip. And I also carved a new bucket so that we have cleaning stuff over there. Chicken population will recover, I'm sure of it. Right. Other than that, have a look in here. So we read the carpentry book. We got a whole 13 XP for making that butter churn. But what I really want to know is if I'm going to grab a saw here and come over here and start sawing some logs. It's 20 XP. As much as I like my little log stacks here, let me just unstack that. And then we're just gonna use my little hotbar mod. Quick access to the crafting recipes. It's almost enough for level up. close are we? 0.5. Like a saw, a large branch into a log, into a plank. Does it give carpentry XP? It does. Oh, also nice, 19.5. And just like that, I can already start reading the next book. Ropes in here. Yeah, so basically all the racks we had, I also, condensed to bundles so I take up less space. Yeah, I guess the only thing I haven't done yet that I said I would do eventually is start freaking exercises so we maybe get more than 0 fitness at some point. Also, temporarily at least, through all the fresh cooked food, well, the chicken's already stale. The chicken is already stale. And we do have a couple red books, and we do have cows nearby or pets nearby that we can pet for to get our mood back. So maybe I'll not throw the stale food away right away because we kinda need to keep our weight up and defeat the hunger. Oh. Well, as if I'd planned for it. I mean, the last time around we just stayed here. Here's an idea. Leave that behind. Drop that. 2 spare blades. I have 2 bottles of water. Give me like... We're gonna head north. While the helicopter is there. Gonna head north towards the area where we had the initial survivor group with that the ex-zombie that I've been chasing for years. Years, months. Never 1 hour helicopter. Coming back for round 2. Like, generally, this area is, I want to say, somewhat helicopter safe. Especially since we've kind of cleaned out even that neighborhood near here. Yeah, this is definitely farmland. So I'm in the outside for sure this time. So he definitely sees me, and it's like somewhere within 5 tiles, not 5, 50 tiles of me. Would you look at that? There are actually still zombies out here. Would you look at that? There are a lot of zombies out here. What the hell? feel like this is a field we've been through 1,000 times. Where are these hang on. You know what? You should know how the game works by now. After 3,000 hours of Zomboid, I'm fairly certain I left zombie population peak day. It's still 28. So yes, so that's not necessarily respawn, that's just slowly going up to the peak spawn. Is he coming back for round 3? Are we actually gonna spot... Okay, the helicopter is coming back. I didn't see... I mean, there's more zombies than I expected to see here, but I didn't see anyone running. So that's a good sign. I also don't see anyone with a big old fire axe, but that's a separate topic. Okay, there. There was at least 5 more. There's one guy over there on the fields. 2, 3, 4. So apparently didn't finish putting that on the belts. Second one ready on the other belt slot. So we have this one in hand and 2 to switch to in case we need it. An interesting discussion thread on Reddit the other day on whether or not people play zoomed in or zoomed out while fighting. Which, you know, I always took it for, you know, obviously you zoom in so that you're accurate, but no, apparently a lot of people play fully zoomed out, so they always see their surroundings more accurately. And then more in the group of people that is zooming in, zooming out, zooming in, zooming out. Make your blows land and then look around for enemies again. I'm getting a little bit nervous, like... It's not like we can just run away if we get overwhelmed here, because no fitness. I was really not expecting so many zombies to be here, though. Probably spawn that's still growing up to peak day. So we've been running through this area, driving through this area a fair number of times, and I hadn't seen any other zombie, and now seeing like 20 roaming around here is very, very unusual. I'm actually just quickly check. See how much stamina we're missing. Will no longer be out of breath. Yeah, I guess we're getting the full 4-hour helicopter experience this time around. I'm just really now focused on, hey, maybe this makes my ex-friend show up again. That's why I wanted to go up north. Not super happy about the timing though. I gotta say, you know, maybe we can have a proper helicopter starting in the morning at 10, and then you have like 4 hours during the event. And plenty of time to clean up afterwards without getting tired halfway through. I have no food on me except for the butter. Well, it shouldn't last longer than until 8 p.m., so we should have that behind us in a second. I'm just gonna chill in this field here for a minute. Catch my breath. Very certain there were like 10 more zombies, well, maybe not 10, maybe 5 more zombies down the road here in that field. So if we can kill them before we get tired again, that would be kind of nice. So I saw somebody move here. That's a deer. We're not hunting deer now. Zombie there? No, it's just an interesting looking tree stump. Okay. I was way further up north. Surprised that they walked down here. A little bit concerned. I think we should probably head back to camp and just make sure that that area is clear while we still have daylight and while we're still not super tired again. So yeah, I was really, I wanted to give you some updates on the base progress, but wasn't sure what to do after that, and then the helicopter comes. So hey, content creates itself sometimes. Good news about having the cows here is if there were zombies around, they would be kind of stressed out and running all over the place. But since they're just chilling, I can also chill. So before we call it a night and call it an episode here, there's one last thing I wanted to check out. That is, yes, if I remember correctly, there's a fence here, so if we want to drive out this way, we always have to drive the long, long way around, which just seems unnecessary. So why don't we take our newfound hacksaw, because there's a little exit. And yeah, this kind of fence gives screws, not nails. Pick planks. I think the rest we're gonna leave here for now. So yeah, with the second helicopter behind us, I think that is a great opportunity then to look into traveling to that other area, checking it out, and maybe we leave for now everything here and just take our spare tent, spare sleeping bag, and basically establish a new base over there. Right, rainfall. How inconvenient. Because even though we have very a lot of carry capacity here in the truck, we cannot bring all our belongings in a single trip, so we have to do a little bit of driving back and forth anyway. Sometimes I feel like I hear zombies nearby, but that's just paranoia. That's paranoia when you live in the wilderness. Right, what do we have that's still fresh? That carrot here. Big ones. Tomatoes. Still going up? Now we're going down. So we might as well just wash it all down with some butter, I think. Yes, a little bit of sadness, I'm sure is gonna go away as we sleep. But yeah, with that, and the second helicopter behind us, we're gonna put a cut in here. When we get back, we're gonna take a little road trip. Potentially to a new base location. And we were talking about the base locations last episode, and I'm kind of thinking, back to the roots, back to the previous place. It's just too good. But that's gonna be next time. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you then.